Hello and welcome to the Django GraphQL Query Fundamentals course. My name is Xander. This tutorial is part of a whole course playlist available for free on YouTube. For deeper learning, the extended course is available for purchase at Udemy. Now you'll find all the resources and links in the video description. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for weekly promotions, discounts, and Udemy course giveaways. Now that we have our type, in this tutorial we'll look at how to write a resolver function in GraphQL using Strawberry. Now resolvers even, are the functions that actually fetch or return the data for each field in our API. So we keep it simple and focus on the basics in this tutorial, and later on in the course we will expand our understanding. Right, so let's see if we can build a clean, beginner-friendly resolver using our newly created category type. Now, since we're focused on here clarity and early steps, let's return a small hard-coded list of categories just to get the structure right to begin with. Right, so let's move into the queries file, and here we're going to need Strawberry. So first task, let's import Strawberry, and then we're going to need to bring in our category type from types. So let's do that. Right, so now we're going to use Strawberry type declarator again here, this time on the query class. So let's think of it like this. Earlier, we used the Strawberry type to define what our data looks like here on our category type. And now we're going to use it in a slightly different way. This time we're saying, here's how to fetch the category data. So in GraphQL, the query type is going to be special. It's going to be the entry point to our API, the place where every data request begins. What's going to be special about this is that we're going to define functions that should be exposed to clients. So to do that, we simply define the Strawberry field declarator, and then we go ahead and build our function. So here we're building a function called categories. Now this is what we call a resolver function. It's a Python function that runs whenever someone asks for the categories field in the GraphQL query. So we start off with the function name categories. This is just the name of the function, of course. GraphQL will expose this as a field called categories in the schema. When someone queries for categories, this function will run. And then we've defined self. So this is required because the function is inside the class. We're not using it directly here, but Python needs it to be part of the method signature. And then finally, we define a type hint. So this tells Strawberry that this function will return a list of category type objects. We will need to make sure that, of course, we bring in that resource. So we'll do exactly that. So from typing, import list. So what's going to happen here? Eventually, we will create a GraphQL query that looks something like this. What's going to happen here is that GraphQL looks at this query type and says, do we have a field called categories? Remember, that's a Strawberry field. And the answer to that is yes. So therefore, it will run the function that provides it. And that's this function here. What we know about this function so far is that it will return a list. We're going to return simple hard-coded data to keep things simple and understandable for now, but eventually we'll hook it up to our database. So here we're saying we're going to return a list of category type objects. So we have two category type objects. Notice that we're going to align up this data to our types. Okay, so that's lined up nicely to our type description. Okay, so we've just written now our first resolver function to return data in GraphQL using Strawberry. Now we did keep it simple by returning hard-coded values, but what matters is that now you understand how a resolver works. You define a function, you declarate it with Strawberry field, and you return data that matches your type. So this is the foundation for connecting your API to real data later on. Right, so now that we have our type and we have our resolver function. In the next tutorial, we'll look at how to bring everything together using GraphQL schema, the piece that connects your types, queries, and eventually your Django models together.